Hello, good morning, and welcome along to another episode of Euros Daily. My name is Joe Carter, and I'll be your guide through this fantastic footballing feast that is Euro 2020. It's Wednesday, the 7th of July, day 27 of the tournament, and the day has finally come. England versus Denmark in the semi-finals. We'll give our predictions, and we also want yours. So get in the comments, let us know your predicted scoreline and player of the match. Alongside me, the pun man Mus and Roz cricket score Mac. Euros Daily. Comment, like, subscribe, allow notifications, and share this video. 60,000 supporters at Wembley tonight, lads. 8,000 of them apparently will be Danish. What are you expecting from tonight's game, Roz?
It's coming home.
Could I have expected anything less than that as an answer?
Like one of those sort of sad bastards sort of sat in the corner like shaking. It's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming home. No, that's all there is to it. It's coming home.
Yeah. If you're watching this, spare a thought for myself and Roz because we are currently self-isolating. So we'll be watching the game in isolation. But you know, hopefully it is coming home so we can get out there for the final and get back, because I'm self-isolating until Friday, so I've got a chance. Mus, how are you doing?
Yeah, very well, thanks. So I told you guys on the Tuesday show that I had a lasagna, and I thought that influenced my prediction for the Italy game. So this morning I've been very careful to only have a filling dish and set aside all the pastries.
And the bacon, hopefully.
Yeah, no Danish for me tonight. This morning.
Love it. Actually, that brings me on to a story I saw this morning. Readers of the Danish daily newspaper called BT are going to see an advert today in their paper that the Sun have put there, right? And it basically, the caption is, "We're having you for breakfast," and it's a picture of a slice of rye bread with two slices of Danish bacon in a cross on it. But there's a reciprocal ad because the Sun exchanged ads with BT. So, you know, it wasn't the Sun being garish. They decided between them to like do it. English readers will see an advert that says, "It's not coming home, we're coming home," and it's a picture of some like Vikings or some shit. I don't know. Anyway,
I was just thinking, like, in terms of sort of foreign ministers and politics and stuff, there aren't many sort of institutions you'd least rather have than the Sun. And then I realised that used to be Boris Johnson's job.
Brilliant. So we've already turned it to politics, lads. We've done a great job. Mus, I've asked Roz what he's expecting from tonight's game, and he simply said it's coming home. Could you give us a slightly more tactically insightful look at the game, maybe?
I'm trying my best. I think it will be definitely more tense than Saturday's game against Ukraine. You could take that for granted. I think Denmark are a much better side. I think they'll have more chances. They'll have more time on the ball. But I think the Wembley factor is going to be a big one. So 60,000 fans, but because of COVID restrictions, Denmark fans from Denmark couldn't actually travel over. So they're much reliant on like, UK-based Denmark fans. And I think they had 6,000 ticket allocation, something like that.
You weren't listening to my intro, Mus. 8,000.
8,000.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Sorry.
What do you guys do when I'm talking for the first minute? Do you just sort of...
The big jitters, Joe. That's what it is. Big game jitters. But yeah, no. I think what I'd seen is that the Danish FA had flown over 6,000 items like jerseys and flags and so on to furnish the attending fans with stuff to wave.
8,000.
But yeah, that it's in London. There's going to be loads of UK fans. We saw the impact that had on the penalty shootout yesterday, shooting towards the Italian fans. Now imagine like the macrocosm of that is like the whole stadium is going to be singing "It's Coming Home" for 90 minutes and pushing the lads on. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, you'd hope it all kind of works out. Tom's in the comments. He says it's the Premier League players in the Danish side that could give valuable insight. He also reacted to the Sun to the BT advert, the Danish BT advert. You're staying home.
Yeah.
Is he right? The Prem players in that Danish team, Ross.
The Prem players are superb, but it's the players, weirdly enough, that aren't that I'm potentially more worried about tonight. So obviously you've got Christensen, who's seen for a while playing for Chelsea, who's never really convinced me. Seems to play better for Denmark than he ever has for Chelsea, in my opinion. Obviously, Kasper Schmeichel, I've said it a few times, I think he's the third best goalkeeper in the league. Højbjerg, brilliant player. But you've got Højbjerg next to Thomas Delaney, the Dortmund midfielder. I think it'll be a really interesting physical battle there.
Yeah.
You've got 4 midfielders in Rice, Phillips, Delaney and Højbjerg, who really sort of pride themselves on that kind of physical battle and winning it in the middle of the park. So that'd be really interesting. The 2 wing backs, I mean, something I'm quite looking forward to is Seb Larsson, a 36-year-old Seb Larsson as a right wing back against Luke Shaw and Raheem Sterling, who have been...
You're getting your Scandinavian nations mixed up there, Ross.
Is it not Seb Larsson? Who's the... Is it
Joachim
another
May?
Larsson? Who's the right wing back?
Striker.
What?
Striker.
Striker.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Are we playing the other one?
And you
The
got
red one?
Mailer on the left.
Red one. Mailer's the one.
We're playing.
Oh,
we playing the red one.
I thought we were playing against Seb Larsson. I'm definitely going to win now.
Yes. James Latan won't be there.
Oh, screw it. I'm trying to make it more interesting. I think it'll be an interesting physical midfield battle.
Okay.
My point was, I don't even care what's around them. Dolberg is the one I'm more worried about, to be honest. He's having a very good tournament.
Ross, just do you want to double check your stat of the day quickly and make sure it's not a Swedish stat before we go any further?
I mean, yeah, there it is.
We get advert. Just BT just need to clip that and just.
I knew the Danish squad really well. I know, like, the back three, and they've got a very good squad. They've got a very good squad. Clearly not a right wing back worth noting.
Yeah. Mete's in the comments. He says, Dom says hello. There's another person in the comments whose name is Player. Says, hey, if England passes Denmark, do you consider her a favourite over Italy?
Player doesn't Player play for Gladbach?
Yeah, no, it's not spelled like that, but it's not Alsan Player. You're just trying to like reaffirm your footballing knowledge. Ross, we all know you're an expert. It was just a lapse, all right? Don't worry. We know you know the difference between Sweden and Denmark, and a player that may have had over 100 caps for one of them and not the other. But besides the point, to answer Player's question, Mus, do you see England as favourites over Italy if they beat Denmark?
Not necessarily. I don't think it's that straightforward. I think it's much more like 50-50. I think Italy have had a great tournament. On par with England's, if not slightly better. But okay, maybe not slightly better. I know, we've been better than them defensively, which should be mentioned. But they've got momentum. They've got that uplifting kind of team bonding experience of beating big sides on their way to the finals. So they've knocked out Belgium, they've knocked out Spain on penalty shootouts. I think that's brought the group closer. You can see them kind of not quite the same, but similar to how Denmark have rallied around the whole Christian Eriksen incident.
Yeah.
Like straight after the Italy victory, they're singing Spinazzola's name. I think there's a lot of togetherness there, and I think, it's quite. There's not much to choose between England and Italy, I think.
See, I was just trying to change Mrs. mind with my facial expressions.
He was worried about what was coming. If he said something that you disagreed with, he was like, "Uh-oh."
I don't see it that way at all. Genuinely, that's not a. I think one thing to say of Italy is that they've gone through extra time last night with some ageing players. I know that the whole thing about them is they've got a very young squad, but you still got Chiellini and Bonucci having just got through 120 minutes in a penalty shootout. You've got a team that for me hasn't. They've performed well in one of their games, which is the well, 2 of their games, I guess. I never rated Spain. I didn't think Belgium really turned up on the day. I think England have got the curse of making it look easier than it is. And so actually people say that we weren't actually that good against Croatia. And that's what everyone was saying. We weren't actually that good. It was just that they were that poor. But it's kind of a running theme, isn't it? The Czech Republic were, we weren't that good against the Czech Republic. They were just that poor. And then they went on and knocked out the Netherlands. Germany were poor. We weren't that. We're sort of scared to give ourselves credit. If I'm an Italian, I'm a lot more worried about us than me as an Englishman is worried about the Italians if we get there and we beat Denmark tonight. I think we're favourites.
Fair. Okay. Sorry. No, I was just reading some comments. There's a lot of comments coming in. Let's have a little look at the predicted lineup. So the Times has predicted this as a lineup, and I've got an interesting comment from Tom, who is watching. Pickford in goal for England, and he says about Pickford, he's already won the Golden Glove. Does he concede tonight? Does it matter?
No, ultimately. However, I think he's looked well class this tournament. I think there was one flap. Was it in the last game? No, it wasn't. It was I can't remember. There was one sort of. But I thought it was an all right punch in the end. The rest of the time, I think he's looked like the best goalkeeper in the tournament. I don't think that's bias. I wouldn't say that about any of the other players, but I think particularly in that goalkeeping position, I don't think any of the supposed sort of world-class goalkeepers that you'd always put above Jordan Pickford have looked better than him with distribution. Haven't made any better saves than him. He's made some world-class saves. Commanded his box well. Jordan Pickford's been absolute class. Okay,
well, across the back four, this is again, this is what the Times are predicting. Back four: Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, John Stones, Kyle Walker. Phillips and Rice in the middle. Then the three behind Harry Kane: Sterling, Mount, and a recall for Bukayo Saka. So first of all, reflections on that lineup, please, Mus. Even though you're wearing the red of Denmark.
I think that's a good lineup. I think Saka does, if fit, he comes back in. I think we saw flashes from Jadon Sancho going forward, but it's quite obvious he doesn't do that much defensively, whereas Saka does. And given how we've just discussed Denmark play with their fullbacks, Joachim Mæhle has been so impressive going forward. I think we'll need to push high and give them something to think about so they don't even think about going forward in the first place. But inevitably, if they do break through, you need someone who's going to go back with them and track them. And I think, the midfield battle will be an interesting one, because I think the other player, Roz has mentioned Dolberg, but I think Damsgaard, who I think the last 7 games has 3 goals and 4 assists, he's going to try and drop in that hole, and that's where you need an intelligent player like Mason Mount, who spots the danger and tracks back and supports Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice.
Another potential shout for Mount is something that they did against the Welsh, which is obviously they've got that back three of Christensen and Vestergaard, Southampton. But Christensen often in that game pushed up into the midfield to kind of make it a midfield three. He's got that in his locker. And it'd be very interesting to see. Yeah, like I said, I think a lot of tonight will be that midfield battle and how they cope with that, and whether it will be sort of Damsgaard dropping, whether it will be Christensen coming out. I have full faith in Rice and Phillips, I have to say. I think they've been exceptional all tournament. So
I think against Czech Republic, it was Vestergaard who stepped up into midfield. So
right.
Yeah.
So they got 2 players that can do that. Yeah.
Tim's in the comments. I think this one's going to trigger you a bit, Roz. I would like Roz to talk about Luke Shaw and how great he has been in this competition. Tim, if you've been watching the last few days of Euros Daily, you might have heard Roz actually, sing Shaw's praises and say, "Oh, you proved me wrong." But Tim, for your benefit, I'll hand over to Roz now, and I think you know what to expect.
What's this obsession with proving someone wrong? Like this sort of binary, right, everything I said before was rubbish because this player had a few good games. You got Morata, it was like he was silencing the critics. Then how'd that end for him? Now, the thing about Luke Shaw and the thing about Harry Maguire, that I've said the whole time is that Luke Shaw's a confidence player, and I wouldn't trust him in a tournament if the shit started to hit the fan. He proved that in the Villarreal game, if you remember that, Matt. Do you remember the Villarreal game that Man United lost? He proved that. He went missing. He proved that in the Scotland game. However, since then, it's been going well for England, and therefore it's been going well for Shaw, and he has been exceptional. Harry Maguire, we always said, looked very different in an England shirt to a Man United shirt. Man United shirt, he looks like a Chuckle Brother. In the England shirt, he looks like a Bastion. So it's possible for me to give these players praise as they're doing now and not backtrack on what I said before. If you remember, when I laughed at, I think he's alluding to the fact that we all laughed when he put Luke Shaw
in his all-time Man United 11
Premier League. Or yeah, it was halfway or something.
Yeah.
Just go and watch Spurs at Old Trafford again. Like, he was a joke of a player at the beginning of the season. Had a very good season. Dipped off, showed me that he was a confidence player, which made me worried and made me favour Chilwell. But I can't deny it, he's been very good since. He's got more assists in the Euros than Zinedine Zidane.
Well, there you go.
Just in the tournament.
Is that just this Euros, or is that just for this Euros? Look, on a more serious note, what I will say is something we've seen with Shaw and Maguire and a bunch of other England players is the Southgate effect. He seems to have this effect, and his style of management and what he's got them doing at St George's Park in between, their efficacy in the media. Like, how does he do it?
Well, I think he's clearly a great man manager. I think with Luke Shaw, he wasn't the type of player that responds to the kind of more aggressive style of management that he'd previously experienced, where he was constantly being challenged. I think he's still relatively young. He had a really a career-threatening double leg break, and he frankly didn't need a manager saying Luke Shaw couldn't go from the bedroom to the bathroom without breaking something. That's not very to hear from your manager, right? Whereas Gareth Southgate very much puts the wind in their sails, is much more encouraging, is loyal as well. I think Harry Maguire, Jordan Henderson, those types of players, even though they were injured going into the tournament, I don't think they ever doubted the fact that they will have a role to play, and that's because of great communication from Southgate, constantly telling them that they'll have a role, and he knows exactly what that will be, and then he tells them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Tim, I hope that's kind of given you an answer to your question and a balanced kind of answer at that. You've heard some different opinions and some different ideas around it. Look, if you're watching, I want your predictions in the comments, okay? So give us your prediction, give us your player of the match. We want your dick of the day, potential candidates as well. What are you looking forward to the most about this game tonight? Get in the comments. And if you're watching and you enjoy it, subscribe to the channel. Consider allowing notifications as well, so you know when we go live. We've got a few more of these daily Euro podcasts left, but when the Euros finish and the Premier League season begins, we'll be doing a weekly Premier League podcast. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Right, let's look at the Denmark team. Just to give you an idea, if you're watching and you're not sure of the depth of quality that Denmark have, I'm going to tell you the club that the player plays for and their number of caps as well, okay, for the team. Just so you take Denmark a bit more seriously if you're watching this and you don't know enough about them. So, Kasper Schmeichel plays for Leicester, 70 caps. Back three of Christensen plays for Chelsea, 46 caps. Simon Kjær plays for AC Milan, 112 caps. Yannick Vestergaard plays for Southampton, 27 caps. Then you've got your four across the middle, kind of your wing-backs and your midfielders. So, Striger plays for Udinese, 41 caps. Højbjerg for Tottenham, 46 caps. Delaney plays for Dortmund, 59 caps. And Joachim Mæhle plays for Atalanta, 15 caps. And then across the front three, Martin Braithwaite, Barcelona, 55 caps. Dolberg plays for Nice, 29 caps. And Damsgaard, who plays for Sampdoria, 7 caps. The head-to-head, England have won 12, Denmark have won 4. There's been 5 draws. Across the board, though, this is very quick maths, if it is maths at all. I think they have more caps. I think there's more caps in the Danish cap. In terms of experience, They're a very experienced team that we need to be wary of. Is that their only threat, Ros? Or, what else can they provide?
They've got a sort of. This is going to sound like an opposite point. I don't think it is. But firstly, even the sort of smaller clubs, to pick them up again. Atalanta, by the way, finished third in Serie A this season and were in the Champions League. Last season, they've qualified for it again. Next, quality all over the pitch. Sampdoria had a good season and all. They've got like a sort of unknown quality, which is that despite the fact that you kind of know what you're going to get, Højbjerg's kind of turned into a bit more of a playmaker since Eriksen's come out of the side. Everything seems to kind of go through him. My stat of the day, which is reasonably bleak. Well, I don't know. I was trying to find out a positive one, which was like, it's definitely coming home. But it's just quite an interesting one. So Denmark are only second to Germany in terms of how many different goal scorers they've had. So Germany have had 8 different goal scorers and Denmark have had 7 different goal scorers across the tournament. So it's actually quite hard to pinpoint whether they're going to use their wing backs, their kind of width. So they've got Mæhle, who's that sort of right-footed left wing back, kind of driving forward. He's been a bit of a revelation this tournament. Damsgaard's a bit of an unknown quality. Like, would he have 7 caps, was it?
Yeah, 7 caps. He has 7 caps so far.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, I was going to say.
5 of them have been at the tournament, essentially.
Yeah. He's one of those that will probably get a big move in the summer, you'd imagine. But I really do think it will be that physical battle, so don't be alarmed if it gets to the 60th and the 70th minute. And we're just matching them up, basically. It's not going to be enough Ukraine. It's not going to be another kind of... we're too good for you. We've already gone through like man for man how good their squad is. So I'm anticipating a battle. I think it'll be physical. I think we're going to win it. But yeah, I guess Højbjerg would be the one to watch.
Yeah,
it's not how Jose used him at Spurs. Again, since Eriksen's been out, he's become much more of that kind of creative player. Yeah, I think it really suits him.
Okay, nice stat of the day there, Ros. 7 different scorers, unpredictability. They've got experience as well. Not giving us a cricket score then by the looks of it when we come to giving our predictions, Ros. There are a lot of predictions, however, coming in the comments. Jack says 2-0 England. Tim says 2-0 England. He says man of the match Luke Shaw. Winky face. Think that's directed at you, Ros. Tom says 3-1 England after extra time. Great deals made easy, says 2-1 England, please no penalties. Jack says thinking Mount will have a bigger role to play in this one, and Will says Mason needs to climb that mount and deliver. So there you go, Mus. I think Will's got you 1-0 in the pun stakes this morning.
No, he's mounting a good challenge, to be fair.
Wow. So what was that? What were you calling Declan Rice yesterday? Or you heard someone call Declan Rice?
Yeah, I heard on the official England podcast, someone referred to Declan Rice as the Basmati Busquets.
That's gold.
I like it.
Yeah.
It takes a second. It took me a second when I read it. I was like, oh, because his name is Rice. Right, yeah, okay, yeah. And then I started thinking, are there any other any other types of rice that you could compare him to a player with? All I could come up with was long grain Locatelli, but like I don't know if that's a fair comparison.
Uncle Tom's Maguire, I don't know. Yeah, it's quite difficult to find other rice-related puns.
Yeah, brilliant stuff though. Okay, guys, any other business before we give our predictions?
Firstly, I'm disappointed Ros didn't use the fact of the day that I suggested about Alvaro Morata overtaking Scotland for all-time goals at the Euros. Sorry. I mean, one of the replies on
Look at his face.
And Alexander, one of the replies was, yeah, but how many times has Morata won the tournament by drawing in the group stage? The world's full of Scotland haters. I don't condone
No, yeah, it's absolutely fine. I think that Scotland gave a good account of themselves in all 3 games. Can't really ask for more than that. Morata's the number, but technically he's the number 7, but he's the number 9 in a side that generates almost as many chances as Leeds. and he manages to miss more than Patrick Bamford. Sensational. Like, you've tried to big up Morata to me, slight silencing the critics. And if you tried to knock Scotland, go back and watch the games. Good
Okay.
account. Again, it's a very hard group.
Yeah. Okay. I've got a quick dick of the day prediction. Have you guys got a dick of the day prediction? I don't know.
Predictions.
I'm going to go for a dick of the day prediction. I mean, the game's on ITV. We saw the ITV hub fail, and when Love Island came on or something, I don't know. Like, and
well before that, it was the whole of the first half of the Swiss-French game.
Oh, right. So were you double screening Love Island and the second half of the game then, or something? You seem quite up on ITV's schedule.
You know it was going berserk, and everyone was complaining about it being off for the first half. And then I think Love Island probably started around the second half or something like that. Then all the Love Island fans started tweeting, and then they sorted it out pronto.
Do you think maybe there were a bunch of people who were watching the first half and then thought, I watched the first half of the game and then watch Love Island when it comes on? So then it split the amount of viewers watching different stuff and sort of evened itself out. Anyway, my potential dick of the day is ITV Hub Player or ITV Player or whatever it's called, because ITV is bad at broadcasting football, especially when the matches are high stakes. I remember seeing an ITV game once where I think it was Liverpool-Everton in an FA Cup semi-final. It was extra time. The screen went blank about 117th minute. And then 20 seconds later, it came back and there were just like fans cheering, for like Everton fans cheering or something, or Liverpool fans cheering. And they'd obviously scored. It was like missed the drama completely.
Yeah.
The USA game where Rob Green made his howler.
Yep.
Do you remember that? They missed the Steven Gerrard goal.
Yes. Yeah.
They missed England's. That was a traumatic tournament, and they missed out the one moment of potential joy.
I'm kind of. Do you know what I'd love it if ITV went right and we're going to join our commentary team now, Piers Morgan and Richard Madeley. Could you imagine that?
Oh god.
Oh, Richard Madeley. If anyone else has seen the clip yet, well, actually, there were two great ones, but the one where he's on this morning and he's talking to Sam Allardyce and he says, "Oh, it's embarrassing." I think the caption is like, when your boss tries to talk to you at work. I think Gary Lineker's since retweeted it and talked about his annoyance that, when England are doing well, suddenly everyone's into football. And it's Richard on this morning and he's just like, my favourite part, I have to say, my favourite part of the Ukraine performance is when England went and stood, next to their defenders, which you haven't really seen many team all tournament. You really stood on his defenders, and they just said, come on then, let's go. And what do you think about that tactical genius, Sam Allardyce?
You could just see Sam Allardyce reaching for the wine off camera.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's just like he is unbelievable. But could you imagine him presenting the football? It'd be amazing. It'd be like Alan Partridge. It'd be like original Partridge. That was a goal. Anyway, look.
Or like Peep Show, like, there, stick that in your goal hole.
Yeah.
I tried to hit it in the goal.
Yeah.
It's too hard. It's just too hard.
Right, now we're just going down a hole of Alan Partridge and Peep Show memes. But look, the confidence is such that we can talk about this. It's not nerves. It's not nerves that's making us talk about this random stuff. It's confidence, because we're confident, aren't we?
I'm so confident. It's
I'm
coming home.
fine.
It's coming home.
What's this football factory? Put your hand out, son. Right. Should we get on to some predictions? So I've given my dick of the day prediction. That turned into a 5-minute chat about Richard Madeley. Roz, have you got a dick of the day prediction, or are you just going to leave it?
No, I have. It will be. I actually really like him as a player and a bloke, but I have to be Kasper Schmeichel after he absolutely, spot on corrected the embarrassing journalist who then asked, are you going to get pleasure from, it not coming home, like stopping it coming home? It's never been home, has it? Has it ever been? Oh no. Oh no, but that was the World Cup, like the Euros. We've won the Euros. You haven't won the Euros. It's ever been home. Which is fair enough. The song was written for the '96 Euros, but I'm looking forward to him picking the ball out of his net for the 5th time tonight. and wipe a smile off his face.
Ross, firstly, I need to congratulate you on your Kasper Schmeichel impression. Uncanny. I was looking at something else on the screen. I couldn't see your face. I thought you'd got Kasper Schmeichel in to give his actual opinion on it.
I mean, yeah.
Or maybe you were
It's
playing the
not-
interview. But secondly, yeah, no, good shout.
In fairness to me, it's a bloody hard accent to do because he's got that kind of weird Scandinavian growing up in Manchester.
Yeah.
It's strange accent.
It's him, his dad, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They have that accent. No one else in the world has that accent.
So true. Yeah.
Look, Mus, you got a DOD for us? Potential?
A prediction. Yeah, I'll go with Roz. And I'd love to see like just all the stadium turn into Jamie Vardy and go, "Ooh, Danish friends!" And they like all dejected off the pitch.
Okay, cool. And Mus, let me push you for a prediction and man of the match, please. Scoreline and player of the match.
Yeah, so in terms of prediction, yeah, I was just looking and I saw that Denmark and England have faced each other 7 times at Wembley. And it's always ended 1-0. So Denmark twice winning, England winning 5 times. I reckon it will be close. I reckon it will be the same scoreline in England's favour. Harry Kane man of the match. I'm going to say 90 minutes because, yeah, it's coming home.
Okay, Mus, 1-0, 90 minutes, Kane. Roz, what do you reckon?
I think it could be very similar to the Germany game. I think we'll match them. It'll be tight. I think the man to make a difference could be Jack Grealish because it better be because I've had this for about a week now. It didn't even come on against Ukraine. So, but I think like Vestergaard's got a mistake in him. Christensen coming out, as I was saying earlier, into midfield, maybe getting caught out that way. Simon Kjær is not the most athletic of defenders, I would say. So I would say Jack Grealish to kind of make the difference in terms of pulling them out, getting him around the back. And I'm actually going to go 2-0. I'm going to say it's going to be very tight and very tense for a good 70 minutes or so. But I fancy Jack Grealish to make the difference tonight.
So you're kind of looking a la the Germany game.
Yeah. I think it'll be really similar. I think we'll match them up. Even in formation, we might go back to the back 3 and just make sure that, don't lose it. Go a minute kind of mentality.
Yeah, I think that's
I'd be really excited if we concede a goal, to be honest. How could it be going to a final? Talk into existence. How could we be going into that final against Italy having never conceded a goal in the whole tournament?
Yeah, it would be unbelievable.
What's your prediction then, Joe? We've heard from the viewers, we've heard from Roz.
Well, I think I'm somewhere between the two of you. I think Kane will be man of the match. I think Kane's the one to lead us to victory. H, as he's known amongst the squad.
It's such an awkward like monosyllabic nickname, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you've got Raheem Sterling, who's Raz, and you've got like Mingsy, and all those kind.
Yeah.
H is just quite a hard one to say. Go on, H. Kind of need to think about it.
Well, a lot of them say H.
Is it H?
Yeah.
There were just so many questions.
A lot of them say H as well. But yeah, I think H is man of the match. But I think I'm feeling similar vibes to what Roz is saying. We'll match them up, 3 at the back. I don't think we'll go 4-2-3-1. We'll match them up. It's the safest option. It's pragmatic, Gareth, and I think we get a late-ish goal and then we seal the deal. So I'd say 2-0 Kane, and I reckon Kane could score both. But it's going to be a nervy watch, lads.
So one last tactical point. Going for about, I agree with you, Joe. I think that we should, a la Germany, go matching them up back to the back 3. But there is a defensive logic in going for a back 4, which is that if you play Mason Mount in the 10, his work dropping back would actually make it a sort of 3-man midfield. And if it goes to as I'm anticipating, which is kind of a midfield battle, Delaney, Højbjerg against Rice and Phillips, they might need kind of all the extra help they can get. And you're not necessarily going to get that if you go for like a Saka and a Sterling, or there's a potential defensive kind of strength you can have in playing a back 4 and getting Mason Mount in the 10 there.
I see what you mean.
Saying that, I agree with you.
I see what you mean defensively, yeah. Saka does do his defensive work, as we alluded to earlier, but Mason Mount, I mean, him and Rice alongside each other as well. We know they're good friends from days, from years ago. But also, what was it you brought us a stat the other day about who's played the most balls into the final third, who's played the most crosses for England, and it was it Maguire and Shaw?
Yeah, Harry Maguire's played 20. Just taking me out because you know that all the Man United fans are watching. It's because so Harry Maguire's played the most balls into the final third of any other English player, which is 28. Luke Shaw's played the most balls into the box than any other player, and that is 21.
There you go. So they are essentially our major attacking outlets, or it's where most of our attacks come from.
And, yeah, definitely. You can do more of that in a back five.
Yeah.
Back three.
Absolutely.
Because if Harry Maguire's got the cover, particularly if it's going to be Damsgaard or Braithwaite. Damsgaard on that side, isn't it? So, you know, if you've got that attacking threat of a pronged sort of attacking three, you need the cover. So if it's back four, Harry Maguire be able to kind of come out.
Right. I'm gonna throw this out there then, right? So if a back five is the way to go, and you want to cover the midfield battle potential, do you actually go for a 5-3-2 or like a 5-2-1-2?
I don't think that gives us any outlet, and will invite them onto us a bit too much.
So
one of the brilliant things this tournament has been the relationship between Raheem Sterling and Luke Shaw, which you'll get less of if you've got Sterling as a kind of front man. I guess you're saying against like a Harry Kane, and then maybe putting like a Jordan Henderson in there, or even a Mason Mount, just sort of dropping him back. There is something to be said for that. I just think that purely matching them up and giving ourselves no kind of release. You know, we saw with Lukaku what he was doing so well when your backs were up against it. But was actually sort of playing that all along, and we were always a threat. And I think you just kind of stifle that threat a bit if you have a front two. It's not how Harry Kane plays best either.
Okay.
I would stick to a back five with a Rice and Phillips.
Cool. Mus, do you think we'll see a 4-2-3-1? Do you think we'll see a 3-4-3? Do you think we'll see something completely different? What's your views?
I think we might. So we may see the same team, but with Saka in for Sancho. I think it was on paper it would be a 3-4-3, but we'll go to 5 at the back for the first 70 minutes when they're trying to match them up. And then, if it goes the way of the Germany game, I think the substitutions will make all the difference, not necessarily any kind of shift in formation. I think it'll be personnel changes to make the difference.
Okay.
The more I think about it, the more confident I'm getting, and maybe that's kind of misplaced. Maybe it's weird nerves and a kind of chemical reaction. I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I think that from what I've seen from Christensen, at Chelsea, where he's had a mistake in him and his positioning is not the best, B, in the fact that where Denmark have looked strong is where he's kind of been coming out and joining that kind of sort of defensive midfield position. Where's England's strengths? It's the relationship between Luke Shaw and Raheem Sterling. Everything comes down that side. Even if it's a ball, even the Harry Kane goal, the first one against Ukraine, where he looked offside for days and he just sort of found himself in that position. That goal actually came from Luke Shaw making a run to kind of divert the defence, and then Raheem Sterling played an absolutely perfect ball through. But it's still that side. The Germany goals, it was all, Luke Shaw pressing up. It was Jack Grealish getting involved. It was around the back. But we were actually creating very little on that right-hand side, which is fine. It's still something for them to worry about. I thought Sancho played really well. But actually, the more I think about it, that, Christensen doesn't have pace. He'll be tempted to kind of come to, and whether they'll be able to have the discipline to kind of hold that shape when we're going at them down that side. And Harry Maguire, of course, is that side. I'm getting a bit of perhaps misplaced confidence. I'm going to stick to 2-0.
Stick to 2-0. You never know.
I know.
You'd rather have 2-0 and be wrong by it being 3 or 4-0 than the other way. I was going to say this pod's gone into stoppage time. It's gone into extra time, but I feel like it's gone into a second leg now. We're on like 40 minutes, our longest ever podcast, but why not? It's justified. Mus, one more question for you, mate. Before I ask you that question, actually, if you're watching and you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing and allowing notifications. We've really enjoyed having your opinions and your thoughts and your predictions in the comments. So keep the comments coming. We love them. Yeah, please do that. We've just had a comment in from Will who says, stay away from the Carlsberg tonight. Stick to London Pride. That's his patriotic beer advice. Love that. But Mus, what are our chances of seeing some of the lesser used players, tonight? Calvert-Lewin's played 18 minutes. Bellingham's played 56. Henderson, Rashford have played 80-ish each. Reece James obviously had that one 90-minute game. Played really well. Can we see any shuffling of the pack, or has Southgate been kind of figuring out his 11 throughout the tournament and now he's kind of got it?
Yeah, I don't think we'll see any of those from the start. I think he knows his strongest 11. I think he makes minor tweaks for tactical reasons, like or for injury reasons. But I think depending on how the game goes, if touch wood, heaven forbid, if we're chasing the game and we're 1-0 down or whatever, then you might see Calvert-Lewin coming on and he could trouble the Danish defence. If it goes to extra time, if it's looking like it's going to penalties, you might need to start thinking about, bringing on Rashford, who's a really good penalty taker and a bit of pace to attack the tiring Danish defenders. But I don't think there'll be any major shocks in the starting lineup.
It's worth saying too that I think that after every time that a player does really well, everyone criticises Gareth Southgate regardless, and it's kind of a theme of the tournament, and it's pissing me off. Considering how well we're doing. Now, everyone's looking at Jack Grealish's performance and saying, he has to start. He surely has to start. He's probably got a bit of the kind of Solskjaer curse when he was playing for Man United. He's proving so good as a sub that why would you start him when what has got us this far is being pragmatic and then making these changes at these times when the other team are a bit leggy. When the last thing you need is a Jack Grealish kind of dribbling at you with the ball. The fact that we've got Sancho or Saka, both of whom I'd be happy with. In fact, the fact that any lineup Gareth Southgate could put out tonight, within reason, don't start like Sam Johnson up front. But whatever he picks in his kind of given formations, I'll be happy with it. I really will. And that's firstly because all these players in our squad are so good. There isn't a single one that I don't trust. It's part of that. But also I just trust Gareth Southgate. He's got us this far. Being pragmatic has got us this far. But, playing tournament football isn't about kind of dazzling the world. It's not how Spain did it when they, it's about winning 7 games of football. And the way you do that is you assess the opposition and you win that game of football. And then you assess the next opposition, you win that game of football, and you do that 7 times, and then you're, eternal glory and all that. So, whatever he puts out tonight, trust in the process. It's got us this far. It's coming home.
Okay, Ross. Nice one, mate. Mus, you look like you might wanted to come back on that. Have you got something very quickly you want to say before we finish on a quiz?
Cool. No, just say, imagine, Højbjerg, Kier on yellow cards in the 65th minute, and they see Grealish warming up. That's the last thing you want.
Absolutely. Yeah, so sort of corroborating Ros's point there, and Ros hoping he comes on purely because he'll be wearing that Alice band, and and he has been for a week.
I'll look like an absolute tit if he doesn't play again for the rest of the tournament.
Love it. I'm going to get as many photos of you as I can, screenshots. I mean, we've got these videos to document it on YouTube. If you've missed any of our episodes, by the way, and you want to go back and watch, particularly the post-England ones are quite funny because Ros and I are extremely hungover on many occasions from those England ones. But yeah, it's been fabulous. It's been an amazing kind of month that we've been doing this, and it's coming to an end soon, boys. I'm going to miss you guys. I don't know what to do with myself every day. Like, I'm not going to see your faces every day. We'll have to catch up on a WhatsApp video call or something. But look, let's finish on a little quiz. And before we see each other for maybe a penultimate-ish time tomorrow. Well, that's a lie, because we're going to do every day up until Monday. We'll do one after the final to review the tournament. Anyway, right, if you're in the comments, you can play along with this as well. It's going to be who's played more minutes for England at this tournament. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 players, no cheating. I'm going to give you 2 players, and you're going to tell me who has played more minutes at the tournament. Okay, easy. So we'll do it penalty shootout style. Okay, I'll do like 3 each. So I'll give you three each. Who's going to go first? Shall we flip this coin? Right, Mus, heads or tails?
Tails.
Tails it is. So Mus, you're going first. Oh well, Mus, would you like to go first, or do you want to put Roz in?
Well, I want to put Roz in a headlock and then push him and then just Joe him Chiellini style and then say, yeah, I'll go first.
Love it, getting under his skin already. Okay, so I gave you a few shouts already. I won't use those players. But first up, Mus, who's played more minutes for England in this tournament? Jack Grealish or Bukayo Saka?
Saka.
Correct. Saka's played 153 minutes. Grealish has played 115. Remember to play along in the comments if you are watching. I want to know if you get it right. We'll have a little look after. Okay, Roz, you're going to have to remember your own scores, by the way, because I've got a lot going on here. Roz, who's played more minutes?
I've been able to count to 3 from a very young age.
Yeah? Can you do it in Swedish or Danish? Or right, who's played more minutes for England at this tournament? Phil Foden or Jadon Sancho?
That's a really good one. I'm gonna say Jadon Sancho.
Incorrect. He misses his first pen. Oh, Sancho's played 96 minutes. Foden's played 134. There you go. Okay, it's 1-0 to Mus. Lots of people playing in the comments. Saka, Foden, Sancho, Foden. I mean, I think
I thought you were trying to catch me out because Foden started 2 games. He started Scotland and he started the Croatia game, but he got subbed off. And I thought you were trying to catch me out.
Yeah, it was a big old double bluff, mate. Okay. Okay, right.
To win it.
Sorry, Mus?
This is to win it.
No, well,
it's to not. So it's to not lose it.
Yeah, it's to not lose. It's to not lose it without sudden death. Okay, Mus, who's played more minutes for England at this tournament? Remember, play along in the comments. Who's played more minutes for England this tournament? Tyrone Mings or Kieran Trippier?
Tough one.
Don't be waiting and looking at the comments. Don't be waiting.
Okay, I'm gonna go in Panenka style and go Tyrone Mings.
Yeah, I agree.
Tyrone Mings has played 191 minutes at the tournament so far. Kieran Trippier has played 205. Oh, he's missed.
Back in it.
Back in it. Yes, Tom and Mete in the comments saying Mings as well. Got you all out with that one. Okay, Roz. This is to draw level. Who has played more minutes at this tournament for England? Luke Shaw or Kyle Walker?
So Luke Shaw's missed 1 game. And Kyle Walker's also missed. No, Kyle Walker's... Luke Shaw's played more. So I think you're trying to catch me out on this one too.
This is a long run-up.
I think it's Luke Shaw.
A long run-up. It's the Pogba run-up. Just baby steps. Right, what was your answer, Roz?
I think it's Luke Shaw.
Luke Shaw's played 335 minutes. Kyle Walker has played 360. He's missed another pen. Mus has the chance to win the shootout. And Mus, big one for you, stepping up to the plate here. Who's played more minutes at this tournament for England? Raheem Sterling or Harry Kane?
Sterling.
Kane.
Sterling's played 401 minutes. Kane's played 409. He's missed. Epic shootout. Ros, this is to take it to sudden death.
I would have got the last one. Do I get a point? I said Kane.
This is to take. Well, maybe we'll just call it a draw. Maybe we'll take it to sudden death. Who
There's
knows?
no chance for a penalty shootout, Roz.
Okay. Who has played more minutes for England at this tournament?
If one of them's Jordan Pickford, I'll win it.
Calvin Phillips or John Stones?
John Stones.
Calvin Phillips has played 425 minutes for England out of a possible 450. John Stones has played 439. Ros scores the pen. It's 1-1. Oh, people are all over this in the comments. We've got names just flying around in the comments. I can't even begin to figure out what I'm going to do now for the quiz. I didn't expect it to be a draw. We've got to do a sudden death one. Okay. What I'm going to do then, I'm going to ask you a random stat question. It's a tiebreaker style question. I want you to tell me. Oh, this is really hard. I don't know. I don't want to do one that's not fair. Okay.
I just ask us like
Right.
how many.
Oh, here we go. Here it is.
Okay.
Right. Calvin Phillips has covered the most ground out of any England player throughout the tournament. Okay. So across the whole tournament, how much ground has he covered in kilometers? So Mus, you won the toss to go first. You put Ros in, and then I gave you then you went first. You made a joke about putting Ros in, and then you went in first. Right. So Mus, it's your guess first, and then Ros can get you with some housery potentially, depending on how he goes. So, how many kilometers has Calvin Phillips covered in this tournament in total? Get in the comments and tell us as well if you're watching.
I'm going to say 85.
85. Ros, now you've got a perfect chance here to houserize it. So Mus says 85. Are you going to be a friendly pod friend, or are you going to be a housery, competitive, sore, bad winner friend? Danish friend.
So it's whoever's closest, right? Whoever is closest to the figure.
Yeah.
By the way, if it's a high number, I fully expect Leeds to put this in their list of accolades. Has anyone seen that list they have when they've just signed Junior Firpo? And they've literally listed all the times they finished runner-up in competitions to make the list look about 5 times larger than it is.
Yeah.
So it's like, they won 3 league titles, and these are all the times they finished runners-up. They've never won the FA Cup, but they won all the... Yeah. Pathetic. I'm going to go for... he said 85.
Yeah.
85.01.
Wow. Okay. That is outrageous housery. That is outrageous housery.
Mate, outrageous Hasri is my middle name.
Mate, to be fair, the stat doesn't even go to a second decimal place, right, on my screen. So can you wheel it back to 1?
No, just higher than 85. Higher than 85 is all you need.
Okay, right. So, Mus, you're saying 85 kilometres that Calvin Phillips has covered for England in this tournament. Ros, you're saying higher than 85. The answer is 52. Mus is closer. You win.
Only 52. Oh, he's having a laugh, mate. I did 52 this morning.
He's saving his legs for the final, Rose.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Incidentally, the most distance covered by any player in the tournament has been Pedri, the Spanish youngster, 76.1 kilometers covered. So you were both way over anything, and he's played, 2 or 3 extra times to get that.
How much money are they on? How much money are they on? They can't even run 85 kilometers in 5 or 6 games.
Great.
Love it. Okay, guys, look. Thanks for joining me this morning. Mete got in the comments, said 69, closer than both of you. So there's an award for you, Mete, there.
Was it a question or was it just...
Sorry?
You thought he was answering the question, or was he just...
Yeah, no, he's just commented underneath KM. So just to clarify. Tom says, shouldn't Ros know all of these questions if he's the stat man?
I was told I was the stat man the day before we started the pod. You were like, hey, Ros, do you want to do a stat of the day? And I was like, yeah.
which was like
Is that every single day?
this, mate. This is
I'm
a month. This is over a month ago. You had plenty.
I'm not actually the stat man. I'm the outrageous shithousery man. That's what I am. Like, I should have like outrageous shithousery of the day.
Outrageous shithousery of the day. Okay, coming to you tomorrow morning. A very first here on Euros Daily. It's going to be outrageous shithousery of the day. Roz has added another of the day to his to-do list. So good for you, mate. Look, sorry for taking up so much time, lads. It's been a major podcast this morning. I've really enjoyed it. Thanks to everyone who's been watching in the comments. Thanks to Tim, Tom, Mete, Will, Jack, player who's early doors and left. Hello, yeah, thanks to everyone in the comments.
You're like a manager that's kind of forgotten two of the players' names. It's like,
Yeah.
Good game, Tom. Good game, right. Good game, Tom. Good game, player.
Lads, look, it's coming
Couple of
home.
ringers.
I really hope it's coming home. Tonight's a big game. Thanks for watching. If you watched it and you enjoyed it and you're not subscribed, consider subscribing to the channel and allowing notifications so you can watch us go live tomorrow morning or tomorrow at some point with our review of what will it be last night's England game, which is tonight. I hope that wasn't confusing. Thanks a lot, lads. I'll see you tomorrow. Ta-ra.
Coming home.